Hello, welcome to Self-Made Mind. I'm Jeff. Hope everybody's had a good day so far. I want to be able to explain something to you when it comes to a certain subject. It's not something that people want to talk about much, but they see it every single day. It's worldwide, and it seems to be a problem. Well, it doesn't seem, it is a problem. Um, and sometimes not the fault of the individual per se, but it's a problem nonetheless. And it's homelessness. I want to give you some statistics right off the bat, and then we'll go into some opinions here. 600,000 people in the U.S. alone are suffering from homelessness. While that is a staggering amount in itself, worldwide is 112 million uh, throughout the world. Um, it's absolutely, I don't want to say phenomenal because that's a bad word. It's just astronomical, I guess is a right word to say. There's just no way of getting around the fact that you got 600,000 people in the U.S., 112 million worldwide. 112 million. Put that in perspective, if you will. That's nearly a third of the world's population. I mean, it's just staggering. Um, just going to break down more of what the big cities uh, have when it comes to their I wouldn't say a label per se, but it's just a certain area of a certain city in the United States. They have a certain name for them when it comes to where homelessness stays, where they end up being. Like, for instance, I'll give you a few cities: Skid Row in Los Angeles, Presidential Towers in Chicago, Bowery, New York, Homeless Camp in San Francisco. These are just to name a few. Um, and those are the big cities, of course. Now, a lot of people may think, well, it only happens in the big cities, and that's not necessarily true. It's all over. I mean, the real small towns, probably anything around maybe less than 5,000 people, if that. Um, you won't see it as much, and it probably has to do with the climate. The climate. It has to do with the economical situations. It has to do with resources. Um, but they're all over. They're all over. And I say there, it's almost like a disease, and it really isn't a disease. I mean, I was once homeless. I'm from San Francisco, and I experienced this at one time in my life. Um, and I've told my wife this, and it's something that I don't wish upon anybody. It's not an easy thing to have to go through if you find yourself going through it. Um, Another statistic, real quick: the taxpayers, it costs the taxpayers $60,000 a year per person. Okay, per individual, and for families, it's over $151 million for families that are homeless. It's um, it's more than just astronomical. It's just a situation where we find ourselves, or the government, local governments, whatever, find themselves having to take from the taxpayers because they don't want to take from their own pocket. You have these rich politicians that can take a certain portion of their money, whatever, put $1 million out for a homeless fund. Just put it out for a homeless fund. Put it in the homeless account and use it for the homeless. I mean, here's my blunt opinion now. Don't forget the statistics. It's ridiculous that people have to pay for something that they should be able to pay for on their own if they want to. Where the government, wherever you are, should be able to pay. They take out of their own pocket wherever it may come from. I don't care, and put it in some kind of homeless fund, period. I mean, there's no fancy word for it, you know. Just give them an opportunity to live. You know, some of them really are reaching out. There is those portion of people that have reached out so many times that they don't care anymore because they aren't getting help, or maybe they're searching for new help, or at the worst end of it, they're so far into the drugs and alcohol that they just can't get out of it, so they become chronic. When it comes to homelessness, they just continue to be homeless because they can't keep a job, they can't stay off the alcohol or the drugs, and mind you, some of them it's not their fault. It's just there's a thing that grasps and grips them into a certain way of life, and they just can't get out of it. Um, and it will hit anybody. Uh, Homelessness doesn't discriminate. I mean, I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what your financial background is, um, what your mental state is. It hits everybody, from doctors, lawyers, down to hardworking families that are trying to make it. Um, I guess the root of it all, when it comes down to it, is that it's something that really comes down to the local governments and the government itself to help these people get on the right track. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They are missing they're missing the ball here. They are they are basically taking a shit on these people and not caring. You know, they're just throwing away like they're a scum of society. And if they can get through it, they can get through it. If not, oh well, you know. They're expendable, in other words. And this hits home, not just because of me, but other friends that I've had that have gone through this. And it's just, what will it take for us all to wake up and at least maybe help ourselves help them? Maybe take a few dollars here and there and give it to them. Do what we can. I mean, obviously we can't help everybody, but maybe that's where it starts. Create more tent cities. Create an environment that where they're going to want to ask for help again because they aren't going to be turned down. You know, give them some opportunities for where they can reach out a little bit easier instead of going in a long distance to wherever it is for their resources. Maybe just make it closer. Make those resources closer for them to say it's right there, and all I have to do is ask. You know, maybe that's all it will take. I don't know. I'm sure it's a bigger problem than that. Well, and it's obvious. I don't think this is going to be an overnight thing. It never has been. I mean, homelessness has been around for, I don't know, 100 years. That's just a guesstimate. Um, Let me kind of soften this up a little bit and give you a quote for today. And we can end on this. Gratitude. It's when you focus on what you have rather than what you don't. Let me say that again. It's when you focus on what you have rather than what you don't. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'll let you have that sink in. I just love throwing out these quotes and these poems. I just hope that you've been able to take in what you can on the subject. Let's just do our part. I want to thank you again for participating and being here. If you liked anything at all, push the like button, make a comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you want to see more content, I would appreciate that. Just stay healthy, everyone. Stay healthy, be safe, have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.